Okay, introducing on my show now, we have a young independent female artist from Australia.
Yeah,
Abby, how we doing?
good, very good, thank you.
Yeah, great to have you on. The reason I got you on is you've just released one single and you're about to release another single. So, Abby,
Yes, yes.
let me know how you pronounce your surname because I don't want to get it wrong.
Okay, it's pronounced Muir.
Abby
Muir.
Muir, welcome to the show.
Yes, there you
Great.
go. First
Um,
time.
and how long have you been singing, performing for?
Um, well, I've always been a performer. I was more of a dancer when I was young. I had really bad stage fright, so I wouldn't sing for anyone. But when we moved to Australia, I wanted to join the choir with my friends. So that's when I started like taking lessons and getting into singing more. And then I came out of my shell and like I was 15 when I put out my first song. So yeah.
Of course, yeah. And you told me before, prior to the interview, you have Scottish ancestry. Is that right?
Yes, I do. I grew up in the Western Isles with my parents, my sister, and my brother. And then when I was 10 or 11, that's when I moved out here.
And Queensland, where you're based now,
hmm
that's where the action of media is, TV shows and music. Famous people have come from there, haven't they? Would you say?
I wouldn't say from Cairns, where I am. Like the bigger cities, probably. We are starting to have a lot more like media and like
Hmm.
film stuff. We just had a big building built for like filming and TV and everything. So it's getting there, but
Yeah,
not too
sure.
many famous people have come from Cairns, I don't think.
So at Cairns, where you're from,
Hmm.
is that famous for any festivals at all? Or like music?
Um, we used to have The Grass is Greener, which was really popular, but they had to cancel after COVID. Groove in the Moo, it's not in Cairns, it's in Townsville, which is like a 4-hour drive away.
Hmm. Sure.
Mm,
Sure. And do you like performing in festivals when you get an
yes,
opportunity?
I love performing in festivals. The best festival I ever did was the Airlie Beach Music Festival. It was amazing.
That's really cool. Just got some of your tracks now. Your previous release was called Blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
And what inspired you to write that song?
I was very heartbroken over a boy, and I felt like I was never gonna find anyone that like met up to him and whatever. And so I wrote the song, and like the lyric, "He left a blueprint for every guy I meet," was just like how I was feeling. I remember I sat down and I like wrote it in like an hour.
Hmm.
Like came to me.
Cool. And your latest release that you're campaigning for
Mm-hmm.
is Anxious, but in a good way.
Yes, I'm so excited. So I recorded this in Japan, actually. I went to Japan for 2 weeks. My original plan was to record an album of 10 songs over that 2 weeks, but then I got strep throat the first week I was there, so I couldn't record.
Hmm.
So I only had a week, and so I got 7 songs done, and Anxious in a Good Way is one of them. And it comes out on the 31st.
Hmm. And anxious in a good way. I mean, nerves when you're nervous, that's not necessarily a bad thing, It makes you gives
Yeah,
you the
not at
edge,
all.
doesn't it?
And if you're nervous, it means you care.
It does. It's natural as well,
hmm
because everyone does get
And it's
anxious
the
from.
same thing, like anxiety and excitement. It's the same thing, same
Hmm.
feeling.
Cool. What do your friends think of your career success?
Um, what I think they're pretty proud. They're very supportive. Everyone I have around me's been very supportive from the start. I think like it's kind of crazy. Like when I was in school and 15, I was like going around saying like I'm gonna be a pop star. So I can't really blame people for thinking I was crazy. And some of my friends kind
Yeah.
of made fun of me for it, but I've got a good circle now.
We're here on the show telling everyone about it, so that's a
Yeah,
success.
exactly.
No, well done. Who do you
Thank
look
you.
look up to? Like, musical inspirations. I know in Australia you've got so many great exports.
Mm-hmm. I Ariana Grande definitely was one of my like big icons for me. I look up to her a lot. She was sort like mimicking her voice was sort of how I like learned to sing. All of the divas, obviously. Um, at the moment, I really, really love Sabrina Carpenter. I loved her last album that she put out, Emails I Can't Send, and I've been obsessed with her ever since. And now she's so famous and she's blowing up, and I feel like I knew her when she wasn't as famous. And it makes me kind of
Yeah.
sad, but I'm
It's
very proud
amazing.
of her.
It's amazing when that happens, isn't it? Success stories. I remember you when you first started out, and then
Yeah. It
um,
feels good being able to say like,
yeah, that's good.
yeah.
Who would you like to spot on tour? Like you mentioned some established artists there, but who would you like to open up for
Mm.
like a support act?
Um, if it was in Australia, I would love to open for Amy Shark. She's a very big Australian singer songwriter. She was a judge on, I think, Australian Idol. I think. So I would love to open for her. Um, but if anyone, I'd want to open for Sabrina Carpenter.
I know our pop star in the UK, Rita Ora, she does a lot of work where you are,
Mhm.
doesn't she, on The Voice?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. I wanted to ask about Stockholm as well. That's in
Mm.
Europe, isn't it? Have you had experiences
Mm.
in Scandinavia?
So it actually it's Stockholm syndrome.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not actually about Stockholm. But I should start telling people that.
Yeah. Do you get asked that question quite a bit then in
I
interviews?
actually have. I have been
Ah,
asked that question before.
cool. And gonna ask, how would
Mhm.
you describe your sounds? Like, your music. What's the sound you're trying to capture?
Um, Puppy, dreamy R&B with some trap.
Hmm. Trying
It's
trying
a weird
to
mix.
capture the commercial sound as well.
So I've like all of the music. So the last EP that I put out was very instrumental and like band, like real instruments. But since I started writing and putting out music, I've been wanting to do pop. I love pop and R&B,
Hmm.
and that's where I feel like my niche is with songwriting too. I just enjoy it. And so the songs that I worked on in Japan, they're definitely more that style, like poppy, and so yeah.
That's cool. Speaking of instrumental
Mhm.
instruments, do you like to have a go like
Yeah.
playing instruments in the studio?
I try. I'm not very good. I can play guitar, like basic chords and some basic chords on
Hmm.
piano, but I just focus on my voice. I
That's
can't
good.
multitask.
Just looking at some of the artists who listen to you, they also listen to some artists as well.
Mhm.
Joni A and MX Slode as
Oh,
well.
yeah, Johnny A. I recorded vocals for him years ago for a song that he wrote, and you can actually listen to it. It is on Spotify. He uploaded it.
Well, and what's it like to feature on like playlists as well, like Spotify playlists, like summer love songs? You're part of that
Yeah.
playlist.
It's amazing being able to watch like the playlist that I am added to, because like how artists can see everything and everyone that adds everything, and it's funny sometimes like looking at like the other songs that they have in the playlist and the names of the playlist.
Mm. You don't know who's listening, like when you're doing playlists as well. You're up there with all the
Hmm.
artists, and if someone's got a shuffle on, it's good to branch out, capture the audiences, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. And are you on like social medias as well, like your
Hmm.
Facebook, TikToks?
Yeah, I got everything. My
Cool.
Facebook is just ABI MUIR. My Instagram is abby.muir. And my TikTok is AABBII.
Mm. And do you think it's vital to keep like with the times, during social
Yeah.
media in this industry?
I'm like, I think sadly you really can't get anywhere anymore without it. Like me, I really am bad at it. I don't like taking content, and I don't think to like take photos and videos, and I don't think to post, but like to get recognized and be heard, it's vital.
Yeah, sure. I know like singing on stage and the recording process is one thing, and then content
Mm,
creation goes alongside that on top as well.
yeah.
Yes,
Hmm.
I
It's a lot
understand.
of work. People underestimate how much work it is.
And do you feel what do you feel like the how the how do you feel about the music industry at the moment? Do you think it's prospering again, people buying and listening to more music again?
I think so. I think sort of half and half. I think it was easier to get recognized like back then, but at the same time, it's also in a way easier now. I feel like
Mm,
it's a
yeah,
50-50.
that's great. And what I admire about you as well, you were an independent artist. You've done this
Mm-hmm.
um, through your own
Yeah, I've
hard
been doing
work.
it. Yeah, it's been a long journey and it's been a struggle sometimes, a lot of the time. It's hard not to give up
Yeah,
because it feels like you're not getting anywhere
yeah.
a lot of the time. But like, I got passion, I got fire in my
Yeah.
belly, so I just gotta keep swimming.
That's great. Good for you. Keep enjoying what you're doing. Keep on going and releasing
Mm.
music. Brilliant. I've got your track now. We'll get that played on my show. Would you like to introduce it on?
Yay! This is Anxious? You playing
Yeah,
Anxious
please go
or
for it.
Blueprint?
Your new
This
single.
is Anxious in a Good Way by yours truly, Abby Muir. I really hope you like it.
Abby Muir, thank you very much for joining me on today's show with me, Danny, in the UK.
Thank you so much.